the task? Huh? Have you done that? I given you a task yesterday. What is the status? How many of you done? How many of you done that task? Yeah, you have to fix the bugs. Nah, you try. So that means, is it working fine functionally? Is it working fine? Huh? Then what image with radio button? You don't need to keep an image, and under the image you have to keep a radio button. Image is independent, right? Image is independent. Image is independent. So under the image you have to keep the radio button. No. Right. Okay. Okay. After the class, I will once check what you have done. We will see. Huh? Right. Dealing with radios and checkboxes, generally, suppose when you are dealing with radio and checkboxes with the two-way binding technique, yeah, that is the challenge for you actually. Means how you will handle and use those options technically. So for example, here in this example, I just given some options like radio and checkbox. Just roughly I'm adding here. Suppose I'm adding a div. I'm just showing you. So we have input type is equal to radio, and radio, so this is having a name. So suppose we say any one option user has to choose. For example, I defined as gender, something like this. Or we have given room types, right? I say some room. So this is deluxe room, and we have input type is equal to radio. Another, so name is, this is also room, and this is some suit room. And here we have to define so a value for the radios. So value for the radio, this is deluxe, that is the value, and another value is suit, that is the value for that. So name and values are configured for that. Now we need to know which one selected. Technically we need to know which one selected. So if it is deluxe, if it is based on that, we need to define the price. That is the condition I given actually. So that means now important is, out of these two, at the top you can see, out of these two, user can select any one. User can select any one. So that is the radios, and which one selected, I need to get that value. So here I declared a property, suppose public property as room type. Room type is a property, and here it is generally empty. Now I need to bind this. I need to bind this with the options. That means here we have to use two-way binding, ng model. So we are defining room type. So we are binding room type. That means whatever you chosen here, ng model, so then it will be room type. And both will use the same model because out of these two, only one will be selected. And suppose I kept a button here. So I kept a button here. So button on submit, I need to collect the data. On submit, I need to collect the data. So here I am writing an option, submit click. I said submit click public. So I said submit click, submit click. On submit click, we need to get the room type and we have to define the value. That means here I asked you for room cost, right? I asked you for room cost. Initially what happens is, so here when submit is clicked, that means on click, so we will call submit click. So submit click. On submit click, we are verifying the value here. That means if here we have to define the condition. If room this dot room type, am I right? If this dot room type is equal to, so if this dot room type is equal to deluxe, that means it's the value is deluxe. Then this dot room cost is equal to suppose 2,500 something. And similarly another condition, no else here, because user can choose any one. This dot room type is equal to some suit. So suit. And if it is so, then this dot room cost is equal to some 4,500. And I need to display the room cost here. Suppose just below that, I will keep here room cost. So room cost here we need to define. Room cost and which room type they selected. You can get the room type also. That means, so we can put room type and its cost. So usually, so the room type and cost here, suppose I selected deluxe and submit and 2,500. If it is suit and submit suit, it has to get a different value. That means it needs to get a different value. That means here we need to define. So the room is suit, then a different value. So 4,500 something value here. That means actually what you have to do, I just replaced that. But what you have to do is we have to collect the new value and you need to store that new value into it. You should not use the same. Already I told you, if I use the same, what will happen? While selecting itself, it will handle. You have to collect that in a separate reference and you have to use it in a separate reference, right? That is what you need to manage. That room type is suit. Yeah, I just given that. That means here the yes, right? That means you don't need to use checked option here. You don't need to use any checked option here. Any checked option here. So if room type, if room type is suit, then it will get 4,500. But we don't want while selecting actually. We don't want while selecting. I said deluxe and suit. While selecting, you can keep that and you submit and it should get that different value and display. Right? So that means while selecting, it should not handle that. While selecting, just get the value, store in a different reference, use that reference. That is what you have to try. I hope you understood that. So yes. All right. You can mention, but actually we need a room name also, finally in the submit. You need room name also in the submit. Am I right? You need two things. One is room name and room cost. If you mention room cost as the value of radio button, then how you will collect the room name, which room they have selected. So that means you need a reference for room name and room cost, both of them. Right. So separately you have to configure that. I hope you got the clarity a little bit. I just given you a simple help of that, right? So similarly for checkbox also, how you configure for checkbox. But checkbox user can select multiple. User can choose multiple options, and you have to collect all the options that user is selecting. You use your knowledge of arrays. You use your knowledge of collection, what you have learned, to keep the data in a collection when user is choosing them. So without that also you can handle using a simple conditions. If there are many, then you cannot use conditions, right? Try this. So if you can handle this, so that's good. Because yes, I have seen you posted the screenshots of those contents, right? So, but try to fix all the other bugs also. I think you got a little bit clarity now, right? Yeah. So now try to do them. So others also try to do. Why? Because if you can do by yourself, then I can give some more complexity. I will increase more complexity. That makes good, right? You can handle perfectly. So in several real world examples, right? Okay, then let's see the other options now today. So this is just a given overview for what we discussed. Now, yesterday we learned about what is ng for directive, how to use ng for directive, how do we deal with ng for directive. So we just learned one basic point. And as I already told you, ng for is not only just for presenting of text and paragraphs actually. Means not only for iterating of divs and list items and table cells. Already I showed you yesterday, we can use details, summary, ordered list, unordered list, options and all. Now you can use in various ways. You can use cards, you can use tables. In different examples, I will show you. So we will implement them. Now you need to understand one more key point here is about of course, see, you can't remember anything by yourself. So always it depends on how much you worked on it. If you have good experience on working on it, then only you can remember, right? That is where better you install the IntelliSense, which will help you in getting those class names if you know, because that is generally it will not be a question at all for people who learned Bootstrap, right? If you know Bootstrap, CSS, that is what you generally learn in Bootstrap and CSS. What are the classes, how to use those classes. It is difficult to anybody to remember all of them, but you have an idea of working with Bootstrap and CSS for several days. So then you can remember few. You don't need not to remember everything. Actually, how to remember is, so you have to know that for forms, which classes we can use. For tables, which classes we can use. For images, which classes we can use. In that way, you have to remember the concept. Don't try to remember all the classes directly. It is impossible. So you remember the classes based on elements. That will be little bit easy to understand also, right? There is no other way, because you are good in CSS and Bootstrap, then obviously you will remember few classes which regularly you use. You don't need to remember hundreds, thousands of classes. Only a few set of classes are regularly used. That is enough actually. So always you try to remember based on structure. So for that structure, what classes are used. That's enough, right? So gradually, if you learn CSS, Bootstrap, and UI technologies, then you can understand them, right? You can handle that, right? Yeah. So now, while working with ng-for, so we have one important thing to know is ng-for is providing, so a set of ng-for is providing a set of attributes. ng-for have set of attributes. So that means ng for have a set of attributes. So ng for attributes. So you can simply say these are properties because dynamic. ng for have properties. So ng for is a directive which provides a set of properties for us actually. So the purpose of these properties is, when you know about the properties, technically when you know about the properties, you can more easily handle them. That means ng for can be better used, so can be more better used with these properties. What are the properties of ng for and how to use them? We will see. We'll see how we can use that ng for related properties. First, what are all the properties available? Technically, ng for have some set of properties, so which will make ng for performance better. ng for performance better. Let's see them. So let's create a table for the properties to understand what properties it is actually having. So generally we call them as iteration properties. Iteration properties. And what are all the iteration properties we are having? So let's create a table. Yeah. So iteration properties, what properties we have actually is which we make more better, right? So here the iteration properties, we have a property and it's a type, what is the value type, and description. Generally iteration properties, what are those types and what is the description basically. So let's see what are iteration properties and their options. How to use them with example, I will tell you. We will see that. First, we will understand about the properties. What properties are there? We have an index property, and its type is number. And the purpose of this is nothing but it returns the iterator. It returns the iterator index number. So that you can identify the position of iterating element. So that you can identify the position of iterating element. That means in the iteration, at which position that element is present, that is very important. I will show you where to use them. First, we will see what properties it is having. Similarly, even. So even is a boolean. And this returns true if the iteration item is at even occurrence. So if the iteration item is at the even occurrence, then it will return true. That means in the iteration list, is it occurring even or odd? Which occurrence it is present? So what is the purpose of even odd occurrences? Why we need to know about them? We will see. That is what we are going to discuss now, right? So we have another, so odd, same. It returns true if the iteration item is at odd occurrence. If it is at odd occurrence. Similarly, we have the options like first, last. So first, so this is again a number, boolean type, and we have last. So first and last. So this is boolean type, and actually it returns true. If the iterator item, if the iteration item is the first item. Similarly, we have last, so that is also a boolean. So and usually it returns true. If the iteration item is the last item. And we have one more option. So that is track by. We have track by. And track by is actually a function. It is a function. So we don't have any function types, but it is a function. Track by is a function. And it defines the changes. So actually it identifies the changes in iterator. So that iterator will be performing iteration over the collection only when change occurred. Okay, so we will see what is that. So initially, by definition, you cannot immediately understand what they are. So we will see how to use these properties one by one. We will discuss about that. And generally, how we define these properties, how we can access the properties actually syntactically, how we define and access the properties. Suppose I am using li. I am performing an iteration on that. That means I am using ng for. So let item of collection, and semicolon. Here we need to declare a variable I. Here we can collect its index number. Another variable, so e. We can collect the even, whether it is even or not. We can declare another variable o. So suppose we can collect whether it is odd or not. So that means we can define the properties. Let some f, we can determine whether it is first or not. That means actually these are properties. Even, odd, first. These are properties of this ng for. Those properties will get the value and will return the value. So based on that, we can define, we can configure, we can identify the positions. Now, if I want to access the value of index, then we can just refer I. It will get the index. So it will get index of iterating item. So E will get the even, whether it is even or not, true or false, odd, true or false, first, true or false. So how to use them, really why we need them and how to use them. This is the key point. So that we will see now. So why we need them, how to use them, why we need an index, why we need even, odd, why we need first, last, track by, how we can utilize them. Let's see one example. For that, I am creating a complete new component here. Let's design a component here. So I will add one component here. I will add a component. So let's add in the integrated terminal. Okay, ng generate component. So I said shopping cart. Okay, shopping cart, skip test. Okay, we are trying to implement this shopping cart. Okay, a simple example. How do we manage? How do we work dynamically? As of now, we don't have any data coming from any server-side technology or database. Later in future, it will come from server-side technologies. So we will get the data from server-side technologies and we will use the data from the server-side technologies. So in that case, as of now, it looks complex because all the data we have to design here. Later it will be easy because we get the data and use the data from other services. Initially, we need to configure the data also by ourselves here. Okay, so let's check this. So I will keep this in the startup. So let's keep shopping cart in the startup. Shopping cart. Okay, and let's keep this in the startup. Shopping cart. Okay, fine. So this is running. So we have that shopping cart in the startup. So let's design this now. So let's design this shopping cart. So go to shopping cart TS and HTML. Yeah, first HTML. Just first prepare a basic design here. Div class as container fluid. Okay, and here we just keep some heading. Just let's keep a simple basic heading here. So I'm designing a heading and say, yeah, so shop Amazon some shopping. So here I just keep a span, and in the span I will put a class as FA and FA shopping cart. I'll use shopping cart. So okay, that is shopping cart. So class is text center and text primary. So these are the classes for the heading, and this is the heading. So I have this shopping cart header. Fine. So below this, I will just add a simple row. So we need to keep some data here. So let's add below the heading. I will add a div, and this is having a row. In the row, I will put a div. So we will put columns. So one column is 3 width, and another div. This class have column as 6 width, and another div. So we have the class as 3 width, because total column width will be 12. So 3 width. Right, we are adding for that. Font awesome. Okay, I will upload that process. So font awesome, how to download, I will upload the process today. You go through that and see that. Right. Actually, font awesome, how to do that example is process I already showed you. So visit font awesome official site and download fonts for web. I will give you direct URL so that you can get it from there. So font awesome, yeah, and in the font awesome direct URL I will post that. This is the font awesome official site, and in this you can start for free. I will give the direct download link, so that will be easy for us. Download font awesome, and here you have an option. I will give you a direct download link, right? You can get it from there. Every time creating new application is just simply like you are talking about completely unusual concept, right? Nobody will create a new application every time, right? So generally you will have all the applications generated in one project. Workspace is only one. The font awesome is installed into workspace. Node modules is in the workspace now. We learned how to create a workspace. You remember, right? Yes. So you better go with the workspace and create. That is the better way, no? Right? Yeah. So here, this is the direct link location. This is the direct link location. I am giving you direct link location. Okay. Second, what you have to do is download free for web, right? You have to download font awesome free for web. So font awesome free for web. Okay. And what you have to do is extract the zip folder and copy all its subfolders and paste into your workspace node modules folder. You have to open your node modules folder under a generic, under a separate folder. under a subcontent folder called fonts, all the subfolders. Then what you have to do is go to styles.css. You have to go to styles.css. This is your styles.css. Yeah, this is a styles.css, and you need to link this. In styles.css, you need to link that. You need to link that into the styles.css. You have to link that into styles.css. Right? That is the process how you handle the font awesome. I will upload this, right? That will be easy for you. You can try this now. So that is the font awesome process, how we handled it, right? Yeah. Now you keep it for your workspace so in every application, you don't need font awesome to install now until or unless it is in a separate location. You know, now, if you want to use CSS, you can use CDN. So you can directly access from their server and use it, right? You have CDNs also, right? As of now, you do in this way, okay? Now in our shopping cart, I'm using that font awesome, and here we have three columns created here. These are the 3 columns generated. You can't see them because we don't have any content inside them. Now what I will do is I want to create a simple design. So in the columns, how do we configure, right? So let's put here. In the left column, I'm creating a div. So class as a form group, and here we have a label. And in the label, I say select a category. And below this, we will keep a div, and we will put a select. And select initially uses a class as form control. First, we will design. Later, we will give the functionality for this initially. Okay. So that is a drop down. That is one form group, one drop down, another div. And this is using the class as form group. And here I have a label, and we have select a product. And for that also, we will just put a select. So currently they are empty because we want to put some dynamic data. So this is also a form control. Okay. So we have that options configured here. Fine. Now I need to create another div. So this is also a form group. Form group is to separate all the categories actually. And in this, we will put a label. So just say preview. And in the preview, I will keep a div here. And here I want to display a card. So we will put a class as card. So, and card will have a div. So usually it will have a class card header. And it will have another div. So this will have a usually class card body. Yeah. So, and we have another div. We will have class card footer. These are the basic things we have to define there. Okay. And under that, we will put a button. And here we will define add to cart. And class as BTN and BTN danger and BTN block. And here shopping cart icon also we will put in the button there. That means we will put a span. And here we have an option. So class FA and FA shopping cart. Okay. Now the left panel is designed in this way. We have the left panel ready. And I will keep this button also in a separate group. So it will be clean. So usually that button should be inside the card footer actually. So, or you can keep in a separate group. So in the card footer, I'm adding that button there. So it will get that in the card footer. So we have a left panel ready here. So we are configuring a left panel. A lot of work is there here. We need to design so much here. The point is now left side, I want some categories here. Okay. So let's create some dynamic data and put the dynamic data into it. So what we are doing now, let's go to the TS file. Let's create a collection for the categories. We will create a collection for the categories. This is general normal component. Okay. And let's create. So public categories is a collection and it is an array with select a category. That is the first item. And we have electronics. So we have footwear and we have fashion, something like this. Now I want this list to be added into, I want that list to be added into this first drop down. Means select a category. Here I want that list. We will create an option. This option should generate for every category. So we will use an ng for let item of categories. And I want to print the category name here. Category, that is item, contains the category name. And you can see your drop down is ready. It will have select a category. Now important is when I select any category, the category related products should come here. So we need a cascading. That means I select category, the category related products should come here. Now comes the important point is how you know that the category is selected. So how do we handle the category? That means, remember, under every category, there will be some products, electronic products, footwear products, fashion products, we need to keep them. So we need to define them. So then what should happen here is we need to handle different situations. I will show you all the techniques how to handle them, right? So first point is generally, so we have to collect which category they are selecting and relative products should be there. So let's create relative products now. That means what we are doing now is, so public electronics, okay. And here we will put some electronic products like JBL speaker, okay. So, and we have some electronic product like some, I will take what photos I am having here, suppose some earpods, something, okay. That is electronic. So, and I have footwear. So, and footwear is the collection of footwear. So here, very important is for every option, I need first option default as select electronics. That is the first option I want. And here I want select footwear. And here I need some footwear products here, some Nike casuals. And here we need like some Lee Cooper boots like this. So we need to configure that. So these are footwear and another collection for fashion. So another collection for fashion and select fashion product, right? Something. And I defined like here we have a shirt and so we have like jeans, something like this. Okay. I will keep all related pictures into my location. Later we will put that here. Initially, this is the collection. And very important is here, I need electronics, footwear, fashion to come according to which category they selected. If I selected electronics, the second drop down should contain electronic products. If I select footwear, it should contain footwear products. That means the products, select a product doesn't contain any standard collection. That collection should change. Then I will do one thing. It should change. Then I will do one thing. So I will put here public products. Products is an empty array. It is an empty array. Now I will go into the design and select a product. Here we generate an option and this option should be generated. This option should be generated. So if I ng for let item of, so the collection is products, and remember that item, remember that products is currently empty, nothing is there. The product is currently empty. The product is currently empty. That means this is empty, nothing is there. Then why you given an empty array here? Why you are iterating through empty? Because I will keep this collection changing according to which category they selected. So how you can do that? Because I cannot write here electronics. If I say electronics, always it is electronics. If I say footwear, always it is footwear. I need a collection which changes. So I created an empty collection and I kept it. Now what should happen is, this products should be loaded with electronics when user selects electronic. It should load with so footwear when user selects the category footwear. Now the point is how you will get the name of selected category. How you will get the name of selected category. So we will create one property, selected category name. Selected category name. I will give here select a category. That is the default value. And I will bind this to the categories drop down. This is the categories drop down. To the categories drop down, I will bind it by using ng model. So selected category name. That means when user is selecting a category, that category name can be collected. But very important is I want to collect that category name. That means that category name will be stored here. But I want that to happen when user is changing the category. When user is changing the category, I need to get the name of which category they selected. Remember, selected category name is a model which can access the value of your option and store that value. Which option you are selecting, its value is now stored in selected category name. We have to collect every category name whenever the option is changed. That means now we have to write an method public on category changed. This method should fire up. This method should fire up whenever they change the category. Then you know in JavaScript we use a change event. Change event. On change of category, it should call on category changed method. What this method have to do is it should collect the category name. It should collect which category name user selected. And based on that, it should apply the products. It should apply the products. We can use a lot of techniques. As of now, for example, suppose what I am doing is, that means this products should contain data according to which category name they selected. We will use a switch here. We will use a switch here. If there are many categories, we can use a filter also. I will tell you in the next level how you can put that filter also. First, into the switch, what we are doing is we are passing selected category name. Into the switch, we are passing selected category name. And the switch have case. And what is the case? So if selected category name is electronics, if selected category name is electronics, then what should happen? So this dot products is an array. That products array must be applied with this dot electronics. That is another array. That means the values of this array are now assigned to this one. That means the electronics array values are assigned to products when user selects electronics. Then we put a break. And we will put here case. And we said if it is footwear, then so we will put here this dot products will change with this dot footwear. Now many people have a question, sir, if I have several categories, what to do? You know about filter function, find function, you learned about filter and find. You can use a filter function. By using filter function, we can access the name and verify whether it is matching or not, and we can apply that. That I will show you in the next point. If there are many things how to handle, I will show you that also. So initially I'm using a basic here, like if it is fashion. If it is fashion, then what should happen? If it is fashion, this dot products is equal to this dot fashion. That means fashion collection is applied, then break. If they haven't selected electronics, footwear or fashion, because they can select a category. If they select a category, then what should happen? That means if they are not selecting anyone, then what should happen? That means you can put default. So default, what should be default? Default, this dot products, into that I will pass a value called select a category. That means this will be passed into that array. Cleaning up all the other things, it will put only this into it. So then break. Now very important is our second drop down is using this products array, which is changing according to which category user is selecting. That means when user changes the category name is collected, and that category, according to the category name, we are collecting the collection and applying that collection into this array. And that array is used here. That means this products is changing according to which category you selected. Then observe here, I click and select electronics, then it should get electronic products here. And I click and select footwear, then it should get footwear products here. And I click and select fashion, it should get fashion products here. And I click and select a category, then it says select a category. That means you need to choose one category. Then I select a category, then the category related products will come. This is the cascading. The same approach we have to do for more than one. So if you can successfully do the first exercise I given, one more exercise I will give you on these iterations. Then you have to work hard on that. So if you have taken 1-2 days of time for just after all our first example, I don't know how many days you will take for the second one I am giving to you. That will be very complex. So if you can achieve that, that means you can achieve a real world example there, right? So anything is possible, right? So how you say, so it is not possible in JavaScript. What is that? That means we have shopping sites from Angular onwards. We don't have any shopping sites, any cascading drop downs. Before Angular was introduced into market. What is that, Ankit Gupta? What you are talking about? You can do this in JavaScript, jQuery, anywhere you can do this. First, you should know them properly, right? Yeah. So you can handle them, but they require complex logics. So we have these all, generally we do this in JavaScript, jQuery also. In our regular UI technologies. So we design this example with JavaScript only, no Angular. But Angular reduces the effort now to handle all this. Generally, we teach this example for our people who deal with JavaScript, jQuery. They can do in JavaScript, jQuery, but a little bit complex there. A lot of logic need to be implemented. Here, a little easy. So because it is using the framework. So initially, now one more option I need to achieve here. When I select any product, the product details should come here below. The product details should come here. That means every product should have a name, should have price, should have a photo. We need to get the details of the product and display here. So we need to get the details and show the details here. So then how we can manage? Let's see. That means what we need to do is, so we need to put all these products, related data. So then let's create one more array. Remember, here I am creating a lot of data, but in real time, what happens? Everything is present in one location, database. From there, we pull it and we will use whatever data is required. That you will able to do once you know how to integrate with server-side technologies, right? That is towards the end with services, we will discuss that. Initially, here, I need another data. This time, data contains the information, all the information about products. That means every product related detail information. What are the products we are having? That means product have a name. Okay, name is JBL speaker. Okay, and the product have price and some price. So product have some price. Okay, then product have some photo. And in assets, some speaker.jpg. So we make sure that we will keep those images there. So, and another name, and here I have earpods. Okay, so then price and some price, and here we say photo, and we will get that photo and display that here. So that means we are using from assets slash, so earpods.jpg. Okay, like this we will add some data here. So some, because I am using few products, I will copy and paste this. Okay, so let's copy and paste that. Yeah, few products information is here. And the next one, as we designed, we have Nike casuals. Okay, so we designed something like Lee Cooper boot. Okay, and we designed like here earpods. So this is like shirt, and we designed one more like some jeans. Okay, and let's keep some price changing for them. Right, so here we have some price changing for them. So we have some options changing here. So, and the price here, and here price. So something, and we will put some images relevant to them. That means this belongs to earpods, and this is casual, right? Okay, I have a shoe, and I have some shoe one. I have those images. I will import them into assets, right? And here, so I have shirt.jpg and I have jeans.jpg. Okay, we have these options defined there. Right. Now, important is we need to display that. So we need to display that. So, and here we want all these products information. This products data is there. We will collect relevant data and keep in the assets. This is our assets folder. In the assets folder, I have only one image. Let's copy some images. Yeah, I have some images, and let's keep these images. Right, some images are there. Okay, I have that in UI development. Okay, and copy these images: earpods, then jeans, JBL speakers, and shoe one, and we have shirt. So shirt. Okay, I copied some images and keep this in our page. Yeah, already shoe is there. Replace that there. So now important is when the user is changing, the detail of the product must be displayed here. The detail of the product must be displayed here. And see here, so important is when user is changing the product, I need to collect the product name when user is changing the product. Then how do we collect the product name? I will create a property for the product name. So let's create a property for product name. So public selected product name. Okay, just I am giving complete name to make it reasonable. Selected product name. Okay. Another important, I need to get that product name and use that product name. I need to get that product and use that product. Okay. There are a lot of techniques here. We will see that. Okay. First point is here. How we can bind this. So we will bind this to this drop down. That means using ng model, we are using selected product name. That means which product user is selecting, we can collect it. Fine. Now the next step, what we have to do is when user is changing the product, collect its name. So we have to collect its name. That means, so here we will write one more method. So one more method here. So public on product changed, on product changed. Right, when product is changed, then what should happen? Here comes important point is we need to search for the product based on its name inside the data, and we have to store in the results. That means what I will do is I will create an array. I will create an array called search results. Search results is an array, and you know that how to search for this product name inside this data. Inside this data. So when user is changing the product, I have to search for that product inside the data and store in results. That means this dot results, this dot search results is equal to, I need to search for the product inside data. I have to search for the product inside data. Then how you will search for the product inside data? You know, filter function we learned. This dot data dot filter. By using filter, I can use a lambda expression. We learned lambda. X implies X dot. So name is matching with this dot product name, selected product name. I hope you understood this logic. That means what you are doing, we are searching for that particular product because we have a lot of products. So we cannot use a switch condition here. Simply filter. That means by using filter function, we are collecting the product name and which product they have selected. We are collecting the product name and we are verifying if that product name related product is present inside this data. If it is present inside the data, then store that in the search results. Search results is an array. Store that in the search results. That means search results is an array. So search results array contains the information about that searched product. Information about the searched product. What we will do is, we will extract, that means how many results it will come. It will come with only one. Filter can return more than one, but the matching name has only one. In that case, it will get only one. That means that one will be, this search results is an array. Array means that one will be at index number 0. It will be index number 0. So what we will do now is we will maintain an object. We will maintain an object, searched product. Okay, this is an object. The searched product information we will keep in this object, and this object is expecting name, which is initially unknown. It is expecting price, which is a number type. Okay, and it is expecting photo. Photo is also a string type, unknown, right? We don't have that. Now what should happen is, we will collect the results and store this inside the searched product. We will keep that in the searched product. So what we have to do is, so we have to access that object here. What is that? This dot searched product. Searched product. Searched product is an object. Here it contains name, and the name is coming from this dot search results. In search results, which product you collected? So it's a name. Search results contain only one product at index 0, and it have its name. Okay. Then it have price. Price is coming from this dot search results of 0 dot price. We are accessing the price. And photo is coming from this dot search results of 0 dot photo. It is accessing all the details and storing. That means we created an object. And we are accessing the details and displaying, right? Right. Searched product is an object. That is an object. You can clearly see here it is an object. This flower brace means it is an object, right? Into the object, you are storing all the details. That means the searched product is now present inside the searched product, which I want to display. In design here. Header should contain the product name. I will keep a heading, and I will put here its name will be displayed here. In the body, I want to display its photo, and I will use an image. So width is 200 and height is also 200. And this image will have src, and source is coming from searched product dot photo. Okay. And in this footer, we will put the price. And here we want to display the searched product price. Searched product dot price. That is the details we are configuring here. And initially, you can see that is the data here. That means everything is empty here. Everything is empty here. I will just keep here. So everything into center. That means the body will put text center, and the footer will keep text center. That means the contents we are aligning to the center to keep the information in the center. Keeping the information into center. Now see here, when I select a category, some electronics, in that I select a product JBL speaker, then it has to get that information and display that information there. So that means here it has to access that and display that information here. That means it should exactly match with the data we are looking for and display that information. We haven't written any on-change event for the product. Am I right? That we have to do. That means what should happen is when user is changing this product, this event should fire up. That means this method should fire up. On product changed must fire up. That means here we have to write when product change happened, on product change, this method will fire up. Then it will search for your product. It will return that product information. And you can see now here what we are doing. I selected here electronics and I selected electronic product. The details of the product will come here. And very important is the photo names and everything you need to be careful. So because what name you have, actually it is JBL speaker. So the names we need to be careful there. So what images we are using there. Okay, let's select this now, electronics and product, and the product detail will come here. I'm choosing another product. The product detail will come here. And I am choosing a different category, fashion. In the fashion, I have shirt, then the shirt details will come here. I'm choosing jeans, then it will come here. So which category you are choosing, the category related products will come here and it will display that here. Now this is not done. This is just only one level of our application. Now when I click add to cart, it should maintain a shopping cart. And in that shopping cart, it should maintain the list of the products we are adding into the cart. And I should be able to manipulate that cart. I should be able to manipulate that cart. And that means adding items into the cart, removing items from the cart. So we need a shopping cart and we need to display the collection of items into that shopping cart. So that means we need a shopping cart, your cart items. That means actually right side in this div, actually the last column, this is the last column. So here we have a div and we have a button and your cart items. And here I have to define a symbol span. So and class is FA and FA shopping cart. So and we have a class as BTN warning, something like this. And BTN block like this. That means actually there is a button in the right corner. So there will be a button in the right corner, your cart items. So there is a button in the right corner. So we need to add that here. So FA and FA shopping cart. Okay. And you can see the right side corner is having your cart items. That means it should get the cart items. There I need to display how many items they are adding into the cart. That means user selects a product and I click on add to cart, that must be added into my cart items. And when I click on cart items, it should display the list of all the items in my cart. I must be able to add some more items or remove items and display that. So we have a lengthy concept here. So a lot of work is pending. You just learned only one level of this now. Now we have to achieve this add to cart. It should add into the cart items. And when I click on cart items, it should show the table of cart items available. And it should display what items are there in my shopping cart. And in those items, we can remove items from the cart. That manipulation also we need to manage. So that we will see in the next session. So this is not yet done. We done only one part of this. Tomorrow we will finish this example. Then you will get a clarity where and how we are using this for and iteration statements, right? Tomorrow we will complete this example and then I will upload this example. This is still not completed. Lot of work is there into this. And tomorrow we will finish this. Okay.